Greetings from Exam Heist. We have identified important exam questions. Practice these important questions 2-3 times to get 100% success in exam. Subscribe and comment, share PDF in the below comment section to get PDF of these 40 important questions. If you want to access full dump, please visit www.examheist.com. We have 24/7 support available for your doubts and exam queries. Question 1. Which score measures an organization's progress in completing actions that help reduce risks associated to data protection and regulatory standards? Option A, Microsoft Secure Score. Option B, Productivity Score. Option C, Secure Score in Azure Security Center. Option D, Compliance Score. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D, Compliance Score. Question 2. What do you use to provide real-time integration between Azure Sentinel and another security source? Option A, Azure AD Connect. Option B, a Log Analytics Workspace. Option C, Azure Information Protection. Option D, a connector. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D, a connector. Question 3. Which Microsoft portal provides information about how Microsoft Cloud Services comply with regulatory standard, such as International Organization for Standardization, ISO? Option A, the Microsoft Endpoint Manager Admin Center. Option B, Azure Cost Management Plus Billing. Option C, Microsoft Service Trust Portal. Option D, the Azure Active Directory Admin Center. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C, Microsoft Service Trust Portal. Question 4. In the shared responsibility model for an Azure deployment, what is Microsoft solely responsible for managing? Option A, the management of mobile devices. Option B, the permissions for the user data stored in Azure. Option C, the creation and management of user accounts. Option D, the management of the physical hardware. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D, the management of the physical hardware. Question 5. In the Microsoft Cloud Adoption Framework for Azure, which two phases are addressed before the ready phase? Each correct answer presents a complete solution note. Each correct selection is worth 1 point. Option A, plan. Option B, manage. Option C, adopt. Option D, govern. Option E, define strategy. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A, plan. Option E, define strategy. Question 6. What is an example of encryption at rest? Option A, encrypting communications by using a site-to-site VPN. Option B, encrypting a virtual machine disk. Option C, accessing a website by using an encrypted HTTPS connection. Option D, sending an encrypted email. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B, encrypting a virtual machine disk. Question 7. Which three statements accurately describe the guiding principles of zero trust? Each correct answer presents a complete solution note. Each correct selection is worth 1 point. Option A, define the perimeter by physical locations. Option B, use identity as the primary security boundary. Option C, always verify the permissions of a user explicitly. Option D, always assume that the user system can be breached. Option E, use the network as the primary security boundary. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B, use identity as the primary security boundary. Option C, Always verify the permissions of a user explicitly. Option D. Always assume that the user system can be breached. Question 8. What can you use to provide a user with a 2-hour window to complete an administrative task in Azure? Option A. Azure Active Directory, Azure AD, Privileged Identity Management PIM. Option B. Azure Multi-Factor Authentication MFA. Option C. Azure Active Directory, Azure AD Identity Protection. Option D. Conditional Access Policies. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Azure Active Directory, Azure AD, Privileged Identity Management PIM. Question 9. In a hybrid identity model, what can you use to sync identities between Active Directory Domain Services (ADDs) and Azure Active Directory, Azure AD? Option A. Active Directory Federation Services (ADFS). Option B. Microsoft Sentinel. Option C. Azure AD Connect. Option D. Azure AD Privileged Identity Management PIM. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option C. Azure AD Connect. Question 10. What is the purpose of Azure Active Directory, Azure AD Password Protection? Option A. To control how often users must change their passwords. Option B. To identify devices to which users can sign in without using multi-factor authentication MFA. Option C. To encrypt a password by using globally recognized encryption standards. Option D. To prevent users from using specific words in their passwords. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. To prevent users from using specific words in their passwords. Question 11. Which Azure Active Directory Azure AD feature can you use to evaluate group membership and automatically remove users that no longer require membership in a group? Option A. Access Reviews. Option B. Managed Identities. Option C. Conditional Access Policies. Option D. Azure AD Identity Protection. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Access Reviews. Question 12. Which Azure Active Directory Azure AD feature can you use to provide just-in-time access to manage Azure resources? Option A. Conditional Access Policies. Option B. Azure AD Identity Protection. Option C. Azure AD Privileged Identity Management PIM. Option D. Authentication Method Policies. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option C. Azure AD Privileged Identity Management PIM. Question 13. Which 3 authentication methods can be used by Azure Multi-Factor Authentication MFA? Each correct answer presents a complete solution note. Each correct selection is worth 1 point. Option A. Text message SMS. Option B. Microsoft Authenticator app. Option C. Email verification. Option D. Phone call. Option E. Security question. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Text message SMS. Option D. B. Microsoft Authenticator app. Option D. Phone call. Question 14. Which Microsoft 365 feature can you use to restrict communication and the sharing of information between members of 2 departments at your organization? Option A. Sensitivity label policies. Option B. Customer logbox. Option C. Information barriers. Option D. Privileged Access Management PAM. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option C. Information barriers. Question 15. Which three authentication methods does Windows Hello for Business support? Each correct answer presents a complete solution note. Each correct selection is worth 1 point. Option A, fingerprint. Option B, facial recognition. Option C, PIN. Option D, email verification. Option E, security question. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A, fingerprint. Option B, facial recognition. Option C, PIN. Question 16. You have an Azure subscription. You need to implement approval-based, time-bound role activation. What should you use? Option A, Windows Hello for Business. Option B, Azure Active Directory, Azure AD Identity Protection. Option C, Access Reviews in Azure Active Directory, Azure AD. Option D, Azure Active Directory, Azure AD, Privileged Identity Management PIM. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D, Azure Active Directory, Azure AD, Privileged Identity Management PIM. Question 17. When security defaults are enabled for an Azure Active Directory, Azure AD tenant, which two requirements are enforced? Each correct answer presents a complete solution note. Each correct selection is worth 1 point. Option A, all users must authenticate from a registered device. Option B, administrators must always use Azure Multi-Factor Authentication, MFA. Option C, Azure Multi-Factor Authentication, MFA registration is required for all users. Option D, all users must authenticate by using passwordless sign-in. Option E, all users must authenticate by using Windows Hello. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. Administrators must always use Azure Multi-Factor Authentication, MFA. Option C. Azure Multi-Factor Authentication, MFA registration is required for all users. Question 18. Which type of identity is created when you register an application with Active Directory, Azure AD? Option A, a user account. Option B, a user-assigned managed identity. Option C, a system-assigned managed identity. Option D, a service principal. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D, a service principal. Question 19. Which three tasks can be performed by using Azure Active Directory, Azure AD Identity Protection? Each correct answer presents a complete solution note. Each correct selection is worth 1 point. Option A, configure external access for partner organizations. Option B, export risk detection to third-party utilities. Option C, automate the detection and remediation of identity-based risks. Option D, investigate risks that relate to user authentication. Option E, create and automatically assign sensitivity labels to data. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B, export risk detection to third-party utilities. Option C, automate the detection and remediation of identity-based risks. Option D, investigate risks that relate to user authentication. Question 20. What are two capabilities of Microsoft Defender for Endpoint? Each correct selection presents a complete solution note. Each correct selection is worth 1 point. Option A, automated investigation and remediation. Option B, transport encryption. Option C, shadow detection. Option D, attack surface reduction. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A, automated investigation and remediation. Option D, attack surface reduction. Question 21. What feature in Microsoft Defender for Endpoint provides the first line of defense against cyber threats by reducing the attack surface? Option A. Automated remediation. Option B. Automated investigation. Option C. Advanced hunting. Option D. Network protection. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D. Network protection. Question 22. Which two types of resources can be protected by using Azure Firewall? Each correct answer presents a complete solution note. Each correct selection is worth 1 point. Option A. Azure Virtual Machines. Option B. Azure Active Directory. Azure AD Users. Option C. Microsoft Exchange Online Inboxes. Option D. Azure Virtual Networks. Option E. Microsoft SharePoint Online Sites. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Azure Virtual Machines. Option D. Azure Virtual Networks. Question 23. You plan to implement a security strategy and place multiple layers of defense throughout a network infrastructure. Which security methodology does this represent? Option A. Threat modeling. Option B. Identity as the security perimeter. Option C. Defense in depth. Option D. The shared responsibility model. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. Defense in depth. Question 24. What can you use to scan email attachments and forward the attachments to recipients only if the attachments are free from malware? Option A. Microsoft Defender for Office 365. Option B. Microsoft Defender Antivirus. Option C. Microsoft Defender for Identity. Option D. Microsoft Defender for Endpoint. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Microsoft Defender for Office 365. Question 25. Which feature provides the extended detection and response XDR capability of Azure Sentinel? Option A. Integration with the Microsoft 365 Compliance Center. Option B. Support for threat hunting. Option C. Integration with Microsoft 365 Defender. Option D. Support for Azure Monitor workbooks. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. Integration with Microsoft 365 Defender. Question 26. What can you use to provide threat detection for Azure SQL Managed Instance? Option A. Microsoft Secure Score. Option B. Application Security Groups. Option C. Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Option D. Azure Bastion. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Question 27. Which Azure Active Directory Azure AD feature can you use to restrict Microsoft Intune managed devices from accessing corporate resources? Option A. Network Security Groups NSGs. Option B. Azure AD Privileged Identity Management PIM. Option C. Conditional Access Policies. Option D. Resource logs. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. Conditional Access Policies. Question 28. What should you use in the Microsoft 365 Defender portal to view security trends and track the protection status of identities? Option A. Attack Simulator. Option B. Reports. Option C. Hunting. Option D. Incidents. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. Reports. Question 29. You have a Microsoft 365 E3 subscription. You plan to audit user activity by using the Unified Audit Log and Basic Audit. For how long will the audit records be retained? Option A, 15 days. Option B, 30 days. Option C, 90 days. Option D, 180 days. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C, 90 days. Question 30. To which type of resource can Azure Bastion provide secure access? Option A, Azure Files. Option B, Azure SQL Managed Instances. Option C, Azure Virtual Machines. Option D, Azure App Service. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C, Azure Virtual Machines. Question 31. What are 3 uses of Microsoft Cloud App Security? Each correct answer presents a complete solution note. Each correct selection is worth 1 point. Option A, to discover and control the use of Shadow IT. Option B, to provide secure connections to Azure Virtual Machines. Option C, to protect sensitive information hosted anywhere in the cloud. Option D, to provide pass-through authentication to on-premises applications. Option E, to prevent data leaks to non-compliant apps and limit access to regulated data. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option E, to discover and control the use of Shadow IT. Option C, to protect sensitive information hosted anywhere in the cloud. Option E, to prevent data leaks to non-compliant apps and limit access to regulated data. Question 32. You need to connect to an Azure virtual machine by using Azure Bastion. What should you use? Option A, PowerShell remoting. Option B, the Azure portal. Option C, the remote desktop connection client. Option D, an SSH client. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B, the Azure portal. Question 33. Which service includes the attack simulation training feature? Option A, Microsoft Defender for Cloud Apps. Option B, Microsoft Defender for Identity. Option C, Microsoft Defender for SQL. Option D, Microsoft Defender for Office 365. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D, Microsoft Defender for Office 365. Question 34. Which type of alert can you manage from the Microsoft 365 Defender portal? Option A, Microsoft Defender for Storage. Option B, Microsoft Defender for SQL. Option C, Microsoft Defender for Endpoint. Option D, Microsoft Defender for IoT. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C, Microsoft Defender for Endpoint. Question 35. Which 2 Azure resources can a network security group NSGB be associated with? Each correct answer presents a complete solution note. Each correct selection is worth 1 point. Option A, a virtual network subnet. Option B, a network interface. Option C, a resource group. Option D, a virtual network. Option E, an Azure App Service web app. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A, a virtual network subnet. Option B, a network interface. Question 36. What is a use case for implementing information barrier policies in Microsoft 365? Option A, to restrict unauthenticated access to Microsoft 365. Option B, to restrict Microsoft Teams chats between certain groups within an organization. Option C, To restrict Microsoft Exchange online email between certain groups within an organization. Option D. To restrict data sharing to external email recipients. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. To restrict Microsoft Teams chats between certain groups within an organization. Question 37. What can you use to deploy Azure resources across multiple subscriptions in a consistent manner? Option A. Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Option B. Azure Blueprints. Option C. Microsoft Sentinel. Option D. Azure Policy. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. Azure Blueprints. Question 38. Which Microsoft 365 Compliance Center feature can you use to identify all the documents on a Microsoft SharePoint online site that contain a specific keyword? Option A. Audit. Option B. Compliance Manager. Option C. Content Search. Option D. Alerts. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. Content Search. Question 39. Which Microsoft 365 feature can you use to restrict users from sending email messages that contain lists of customers and their associated credit card numbers? Option A. Retention policies. Option B. Data loss prevention DLP policies. Option C. Conditional access policies. Option D. Information barriers. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. Data loss prevention DLP policies. Question 40. In a core eDiscovery workflow, what should you do before you can search for content? Option A. Create an eDiscovery hold. Option B. Run express analysis. Option C. Configure any client privilege detection. Option D. Export and download results. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Create an eDiscovery hold.